have you ever had contact with an individual by the name of Shantae Davies? Did you ever receive a massage or have physical contact from her or anyone else on that trip? In Epstein's 2016 deposition unsealed in the DOJ files, he refused to answer if you were accompanied by two young women who were approximately 18 years old on the island. Okay, my next question for you is, have you ever had contact with an individual by the name of Shantae Davies?
I believe Shantae that's a distinctive name, and so I think that was the name of one of his flight attendants.
Okay. She's been described on being on a 2002 Africa trip and providing massages. Was she or any other young female on that trip underage at that time?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Did you ever receive a massage or have physical contact from her or anyone else on that trip?
You've seen the pictures. There was one time when I was sitting up and I got a back rub, a neck rub.
Okay.
And I think Shantae did it, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Did you ever visit Epstein's Little St. James Island?
No.
We have Virginia Guffrey, who has testified seeing you on the island with two young girls. Did this occur at all? Okay. Why do you think she would have made that claim?
Objection, speculation. He can't possibly.
Have you ever met her or any other Epstein associated underage girl?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. In Epstein's 2016 deposition unsealed in the DOJ files, he refused to answer if you were accompanied by two young women who were approximately 18 years old on the island. Were any such women potentially underage with you? I know you've stated that you were not there, but did you have any interaction with the said
Objection
individuals?
to the foundation of the question. He's already stated he was not on the island. You're now asking about a claim of the Fifth Amendment by Jeffrey Epstein.
Okay. Would the staff be able? Go ahead.
If the witness doesn't know, the witness is welcome to say he doesn't know.
No, but he actually answered the question.
Yeah, he
when
answered
she
the
asked
question,
that
but
he wasn't on the island,
I'm
so
not
then she was
instructed
asked.
not to.
Okay. Do you know an individual by the name of Sarah Ransom?
I don't believe so.
Okay. There have obviously been claims made about you, and I do not believe that these claims are credible. The reason I am asking you specifically about that name is because that individual stated that you were in sex tapes, okay? It was unfounded and it was discredited. But given the politicization of this entire investigation, do you believe that it would be appropriate of members of this committee to bring in witnesses, whether it is about you or another president, that have unfounded allegations regarding sexual claims of misconduct?
That's not a decision for me to make.
As a recommendation in regards to avoiding trafficking, et cetera, and bringing justice for the victims, would you make that recommendation to this committee?
Congressman, just so I understand the question, you're saying if the witness has unfounded claims?
Well, I don't believe that Sarah Ransom's claims about the president are founded. I don't believe that there's sex tapes with you, President Clinton.
No, I'm just asking about your question. Is it, you're not asking if somebody with plausible claims should be brought in. You're asking if somebody with implausible, unfounded claims.
Correct, because these claims were found to be unfounded by investigators.
So are you asking his opinion?
Yes, because we are trying to figure out in regards to being able to further this investigation and whether or not we are going to be interviewing other individuals regarding sex trafficking, avoiding in the future. I know that you and your wife have both been big on this issue. So I'm asking you, would you think that it would be appropriate that this committee bring in someone like Sarah Ransom, who has unfounded claims that have been debunked in this investigation? It's
So he
a
answered
simple
the question about, he answered this question when you first asked it then, when he said that it wasn't for him to make those decisions.
Well, I'm asking for his recommendation to the committee and follow-up. It's not a gotcha question. This is obviously a very serious investigation.
Well, first of all, I recommend that you have on your staff a prosecutor who's had a lot of experience in this, dealing with these cases. Normally, it's not a good idea to bring in a witness that you know is lying.
Okay, thank you for that. My last questions for you are you familiar with anyone by the name of Adriana Ross?
I don't think so.
How about Sarah Kellen?
I don't think so.
Okay. Would you recommend that this committee bring in individuals that were listed as trafficking minors? They were listed as co-conspirators and then given plea deals.
I don't know enough about it, but I think you should do whatever you think will strengthen the ability of the United States not to have this happen again.
Okay. Is it possible, and in your opinion, that you and or your wife were targeted as a means of an intelligence gathering operation?
Object to the
by
form of the
Jeffrey Epstein and
question.
Ghislaine Maxwell?
Object to the form of the question. No objection to if he knows that they were targeted.
I believe that's what she asked.
No, she said, is it possible? So she's asking him to speculate instead of asking him, does
Do
he
you
know?
do you know if you were targeted at any point?
I don't, but
Okay.
I don't. I'd sort of be surprised, but I'm not. I don't know.
Okay. All right, Chairman Comer, I think that builds my time. I just want to say thank you very much, President Clinton, for coming in. And I do understand that this has been politicized, but again, I will state on record and I will state this to the press that I don't believe that Sarah Kellen's claims against you were valid.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. President, before we left off, I asked you to characterize your relationship with Mr. Epstein. I asked you if you considered him to be a friend. You said you did not. Is that right?
I said we were friendly and we had a cordial relations, but I didn't know him well enough because we had almost no contact beyond what I described.
At this time, I'd like to introduce what will be marked as Majority Exhibit 13. And this is Bates marked House Oversight 000126. And while it's being passed out, this is a letter from a book of letters, which
Yeah,
was
it's his
compiled-
50th birthday.
Jeffrey Epstein's 50th birthday.
The questions.
Yep,
Mr. President, do you recognize
I
this
do.
letter? And for the record, does this appear to be your handwriting and
It
signature?
is.
And why did you write this letter?
Why did I? Because I was requested to contribute a nice letter for his birthday book.
And who asked you to write the letter?
I don't remember.
Would Miss Maxwell have
I
asked
don't
you?
know. I think someone on my staff asked me.
Now, there's a word that our committee has not been able to identify, and in our defense, the Wall Street Journal has not been able to identify.
Imagine being on his staff.
Can you please read the letter for the record?
Yes. It's reassuring, isn't it, to have lasted so long across all the years of learning and knowing, adventures and errors, and still to have your childlike curiosity, the drive to make a difference, and the solace of friends. Not a bad letter.
And because we haven't been able to identify that word until now, what did you
Which
mean?
word was it that you could not?
Solace, you couldn't,
No, errors.
errors. What
Were
did
you
I mean?
refer-
Anybody who's lived 50 years and done anything has made mistakes as well as progress and done things.
But for the record, you weren't referring to errors in judgment that Mr. Epstein had related to his inappropriate activities involving young
Absolutely
individuals.
not. I knew nothing about that.
Did you ever see the birthday book compiled together?
I don't think so.
And you mentioned previously you were friendly with Mr. Epstein. Did you typically send birthday wishes to individuals that you didn't consider to be friends, though?
No, I send out literally hundreds and hundreds of birthday letters every year to people that have been my friends. But if somebody's doing a special, I've sent birthday letters of congratulations to people I've met 2 or 3 times for their 70th birthday, their 80th birthday, their, 50th wedding anniversary. I do it. And I just told you, I thought Epstein was interesting and curious, so I wrote a letter that I thought reflected that.
Can you elaborate on what made him interesting and curious?
No more than I've already said.
At this time, I'd like to introduce what will be marked as Majority Exhibit 14. And while it's being handed out, this is an article published by the New York Times on August 5th, 2025, entitled "A Look Inside Epstein's Manhattan Lair." And once you receive the article, I will just direct your attention to page 10.
Where is that?
No, they
It's
haven't brought it
coming
yet. Thank you very much.
And we're specifically looking at a framed photo on a wooden table alongside multiple other framed photos. And we're focusing on the photo in the middle, which appears to have a golden frame.
Where is that?
I think
Two more
that's the wrong
pages.
page.
Right there.
Not the page with the Pope.
Yeah, okay, that's it.
Page 10, is that what we're on?
Page 10. Mr. President, do you recognize yourself in this photo?
I do.
And it appears that the man on the right of the photo is Jeffrey Epstein, is that correct?
I think so.
Have you seen this photograph before today?
Only in this picture.
And for the record, what is happening in this photo?
He's smiling at me, looks like he's talking to me.
This is one of the friendly interactions that you were describing earlier?
Yes,
And can you describe the circumstances surrounding this photo?
Are you asking if he recalls the?
I do not. I have no idea. I see Richard Branson in the back and
Okay.
other people,
That's fine.
but I don't remember anything about it.
And you appear to be comfortable with Mr. Epstein in this photo. Would you disagree with
So
that characterization?
You're creating a characterization. He's already responded to your question about the picture.
I'm comfortable with a lot of people. I'm comfortable here. I'm not happy, but I'm comfortable.